Welcome into the Catcast. This is your host, Cat Kennison, as always, to bring you the Catcast of the day. You might have just seen Kitty head out the door. She decided to hit it. Maybe she'll come back, though. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. If you notice over my shoulder there, I've tried to position a fireplace to make it look nice and cozy here in the studio for everybody. It's right there. You see it? Yeah, there we go. It's fake, but it looks cool. Anyways, we've got a great show for you today. Excellent stuff to talk about. I want to make a correction first. Yesterday, at the end, I was referring to Cuba. I meant Colombia, and I added that into the text. But yesterday, correction, I said Cuba, and I meant Colombia on that last story where we were talking about Venezuela and Cuba. It was actually Colombia. Colombia is the one that actually wants to take Trump out, and they're threatening him, and was not Cuba. And so I need to make that correction. Colombia. I wrote down Cuba, and I had Cuba on the mind then, even though I should have realized as soon as I was putting it up, I'm like, uh-oh, it wasn't Cuba, it was Colombia, because I was typing it out to put in there, and I'm like, why did I say Cuba? I wrote down Cuba, that's why. So that was my bad, and I apologize. So many of you are probably wondering, are we going to war? Nope, not Cuba, Colombia. All right. Also, another reason I'm excited today, I'm going to see a movie tonight with my buddy. We're going to go see Tron. The last one was great, so I'm thinking this one's going to be good too. And so we're going to go see that tonight. So I had to do the podcast early, get it done, so I can go see the movie tonight. And then we will be talking about that probably tomorrow. We'll do a review on Tron and let you know what the cat thought of it. Give me a good topic there, I think, if you're into Tron or not. Okay? All right. We're going through our rundown now. There's an app called Close Off or Close Remove, I don't know, some kind of app where you input a picture and it takes the person's clothes off artificially. It's AI app. It just makes up what it thinks they look like underneath. So we're going to be looking at that. It's similar to back in the day when they would do that with celebrities. You would see Hillary Clinton or other people without their clothes on, and that was photoshopped. And there was never an issue about it. Everybody knew that was fake. But now with this new app, there's some controversy that we need to dive into and discuss. Going to be very interesting. There was also a little bit of a feud going on the CB application between channels, and it got rectified today, but it was not the best way. It kind of just, it got rectified, but in a more negative way. It could have been more of a constructive way, but we'll talk about that. That's always good topics. We're going to talk about staying positive. A lot of people get down, even myself, and it's real important to stay positive, and so I want to discuss that as well. Signs from God. Sometimes you call it a God sighting. How do you know if it's a sign from God? How do you know if he's sending you a message? And I thought that would be interesting to talk about. One other thing here, apparently the Wall Street Journal reported that we okayed them to use long-range missiles, or we were providing long-range missiles for them to use against Russia. And I heard from Trump that is not true. He doesn't know where they got the missiles from or what they're going to do with them. We don't know who they got them from or what they're going to do with the missiles. But maybe they do have some missiles. Sounds like they have some, but they didn't come from us, and we're not telling them what they can do with them. It's what it sounds like. So, I think that's the story that they're sticking with, because we're not going to get drawn into the war, but the meeting thing with Hungary got called off, And so it kind of looked like Putin just trying to drag it out longer and never get anything done. And I guess they hit a school today, killing one. And so I think that the gloves are off. And, I kind of think that we should have just let them join NATO. Be like, you know what? They're in NATO now. And now we're going to protect them like they're in NATO. I kind of think that would have been the best solution, since Putin just wants to keep jerking around. Should have just said, okay, we're letting them in NATO, and now we're going to protect them, and here comes Kitty. Oh, I forgot to mention that my beard is much shorter, and it's because I went to trim it, and I slipped, and so it got shorter and shorter and shorter. So it's pretty short right now for a cat. Hey, it looks pretty good though. What do you guys think? It doesn't look too bad, actually. You can see my smile more, Yeah, I don't know. It'll grow back. But I did want to sculpt it more, so I tried to sculpt this part more. But then down here, I kind of got a little too feathery, and I just had to trim it more and more and make it look a little bit better. It's all right. What are you going to do? Okay, so let's go back to the first topic that we're going to do today, and that's the Close Off app. So, this was never an issue with Photoshop, and but now it's an issue because you can have, I'm not sure why it's an issue, actually. It's just because it's still made up whatever this app does. But a particular young lady was 14, I guess, and had a picture of her in her bathing suit, and another classmate took that picture, fed it into the software, and then it generated naked pictures of her, but of course not to detail, just what it imagined she could look like. Just if you took another picture of somebody and photoshopped it, kind of. And so she sued the student, which I think that was the way to go, because that's the person that did it. And I think she won that lawsuit. But now she's wanting to sue the app developer who created the app, which I'm having a little bit more of an issue with that part. Because what I like about this new AI thing is now any pictures come out, you can say, well, those are AI, obviously, whether they are or not. You can now have a perfect way to get out of getting in trouble, saying those aren't me, those are AI generated. But they want you to be able to, I guess, sue people for doing this, and the app is out there now. You're not going to be able to put that back away, but I'm not sure what the difference is here between doing it with celebrities and then doing it with just somebody you know. Now, I understand that the person being too young makes it an issue, but the software itself didn't do that. That's the person using the software that used it with somebody that they shouldn't have used it with. Now, nobody's going to me, the issue of policing this is just going to be almost impossible. And that's why I don't know. Like, if it wasn't an issue with Photoshop, I'm wondering why it's an issue now. Just because the computer can do it much faster and quickly, and maybe it looks even more real. Is that what they're... But I don't understand that argument. Like I said, if this was an issue, it should have been an issue when Photoshop first came out, and been an issue. Now, if somebody takes somebody's likeness and then tries to profit off of it, well, we know that's illegal. But just making the stuff now, trying to make that illegal, I have issues with that part, because it's just the biggest slope that you could possibly go down and possibly do. I mean, what's the difference if a person painted somebody naked from a picture? You know, um, see what I'm saying now? It becomes a big old can of worms, and not that I'm for what this app does, but it's basically just your imagination in real life, because it's not going to be what that person really looks like. It's going to be an interpretation, but it's not going to be that person. And if somebody actually said, okay, we need to see what you look at and compare the pictures, and then they don't look the same, does that person then lose their argument? You know, because it doesn't even look like them at that point. It's just the top part looks like them. And a lot of people can look alike, and nowadays you can take a person out of a picture, put them in another background, and to me this just sounds like, oh, the person may look similar, but it might not even be that person. And it just becomes a big old can of worms in Kat's opinion. And if it wasn't an issue when you did it with Photoshop, so can people still do it with Photoshop then and not get in trouble? It's only if you use the AI software to do it? See, I don't understand these rules that they're trying to pursue. And just going after the company that makes the software, I think that's wrong too, because they're not using it. They didn't use it illegitimately. The other person did that used the software. And she sued that person. But, companies have bigger pockets, so she's going after this other person, this other company, the company. Which, again, I'm like, that's like going after an alcohol company when a drunk driver hits somebody. Or that's like going after a gun company when somebody shoots somebody. You have to go after the person that actually did the crime, in my opinion. Their argument today on the TV was, well, what's its legitimate purpose? Its legitimate purpose is for you to, instead of having to imagine it in your mind, you can have AI imagine it for you and you get to look at it. Okay? That's it. That's the only use for it. So instead of imagining what somebody looks like naked, AI will do it for you. But again, it's still going to be not what that person actually looks like, because it cannot know certain factors. Okay? And I don't want to be too specific. Okay? But like I said, it's not going to know, so it's going to be artificial. And my hope, if anybody did it to me, is that they would make me look great. Not worse than I actually look. Or like I actually look. I, as being a man, cannot know what it's like to be a woman and have guys Google over the picture. I can't imagine what that is like for a girl. All I can think for myself is I wish somebody would Google me, and because we don't get that kind of attention. And like I said, their argument was that it would hurt the person's reputation. But that's only if they're real pictures. If they're fake, then you just say, that's fake stuff. That's not real, And in the past, you would not be able to get away with that. Now you can. Whether they are AI or not, you just say they are. But they want to take away the ability for people to artificially generate images then of that, so that would take away then the fact that you could say they're AI. If they take away your ability to even do it, then nobody's going to be able to say that. And then it's a rabbit hole, like I said. I like how they can force the internet people to take it off the internet so people can't look at it. I like that. I think that's the fair way to do it. But I just don't think that the generating of the images should be mainly subject to the crime unless they're doing it with underage children. That's the real sticking point with this issue. But they're going to have to go after people that use the software and make those kind of images. That's what they're going to have to do. You can't just go after the company because you don't like the software they created and people are misusing it. In my opinion, that's just, not right. If you don't want people taking your pictures and manipulating them, stop posting them all over the place. Because if you don't have them on the internet for somebody to take, they're not going to be able to manipulate it. So the solution is go back to just keeping your pictures in an album, not sharing them with the entire world, and then there's no way somebody could do that. This particular picture had this person in a bathing suit. Why even post a picture of yourself in a bathing suit on the internet? To me, it just seems like maybe something you shouldn't do. But no, we have to punish everybody else for the few people that are abusing it. Like, it's so hard for me to get my medication because they have to send it directly to the pharmacy. They can't even exchange between stores or nothing because it's a controlled substance. They send it to the wrong place. I have to wait and have them, I have people, there are people that just take down your information and then get your script redone. And you wonder why our drugs cost so much. It's because this person has to constantly take a renewal all the time from me. And nowadays I have to call the particular stores to find out if they even have my medication because there's a shortage of it. So I got to find out where they got it, and then I have to get them to send the script there. And it is a huge hassle for me. But they are so worried about somebody else getting the medication that shouldn't get it that it's hard as heck for me to get it. All my drugs should be automatic refill every time until the doctor tells them differently, in my opinion. Shouldn't they be that with everybody? Because as far as I know, I'm taking this stuff for the rest of my life, But every freaking month or 3 months, I got to deal with getting refills, So my point is, they make everything super hard for people because of a few people being yoo-hoos. Kitty's come up here to say hi. I'm glad. She gets a blue reflection off the screen down there. Don't step on the board, okay? She loves her buddy Ben. All right. Spent a lot of time on that Close Off app. But I think it was important to talk about because, like I said, I see it as being a big issue. And I don't know how you fix it, It's kind of like the crazy way music is now where you can't share music or do anything with any music anywhere. Are they going to make it with images where you can't ever see any images anywhere? I don't know. Like I said, if you're worried about somebody taking your image and doing stuff, don't share it. Don't put it out there, Don't do it. Because it just makes it easy for someone, And then they want to complain. You did this with it. You did this with it. Well, don't share it with anybody if you're going to be this temperamental about somebody that fakes something. This is no different than somebody drawing and imagining what you look like with the drawing. I would take that and say this. I'm saying, what's the difference here? Why is it different than Photoshop? You're going to have to explain to me what the difference is. Is it because it can be done like that? Really fast? Because that's not a good argument. It was never an issue before, and now it's an issue. Oh, because everybody has the internet now. Everybody had the internet back in 2000s when I remember looking at pictures of Hillary Clinton and other people that they would do this to. All kinds of celebrities. They've never been naked. They would fake them. All kinds. It's not a new thing. All that's new is AI doing it and people doing it with non-celebrities because you can now. Before, Why would somebody do it to an unknown person? They wouldn't. Now, a classmate did it of his classmate, you know. I think every dude has imagined classmates naked that has ever been alive. They don't know what they look like, but we've imagined it. Come on now. Don't be naive. But now, because a computer can imagine it, it's a bad thing. You just blow it off. You just say, maybe she'll hit the easy button again. You're not going to... Where are you going? I can't believe she fit up there. All right. Oh, jeez, her tail's whacking the monitor. If you guys are watching it right now, the cat has jumped up onto the desk, has no idea what it's going to do now, no place to go. What are you going to do now? Try to turn around? Okay. Get back over here. Jeez, don't step on the board. Jeez. If you guys got to see that. I know a lot of it got cropped out, but my goodness, that was some tiptoeing by this kitty, let me tell you guys. That made the show. Okay. Yeah, if you didn't see that, you guys are going to have to look at the video and see her walking across the desk. Then her big old tail hits the monitor. Whack! No! She's going to try to do it again. All right, we're going to keep going. All right, there was a channel issue on the CB. And what it was is... What it was is there's a particular person that we had a falling out, and we were just trying to still be friends and stuff and work it all out, and but he was kind of making us uncomfortable when we would go in the channel, and she just knocked over a fan. Anyways, we mentioned it to our friend that's the channel owner, and so then he went, and I kind of said, hey, don't go and make it all worse and stuff, and but he had already left the channel, and I was just trying to make the situation better, but I didn't want to make the other person upset, and I feel bad about it, but it was an issue because that person then didn't want to like let it go, like let the bygones and stuff go, and so it was going to continue to be an issue if we couldn't rectify that. So maybe it'll get better, or maybe it's just the person won't come back. I don't know, but I felt bad about it because I was always trying to make things better for my group and not make waves for this person, and but the person just didn't understand and took it the wrong way, and I feel bad about that. So I hope it gets better and he doesn't hate us and figures out that we were just trying to fix a situation. Okay, staying positive. Like right now, I'm trying to stay positive with my cat walking all over my desk and banging the mic and banging the monitor. And I don't know why she can't just sit over here where I've set a spot up for her. And she's just, I don't know what she's doing, but I'm going to, we're going to move on to the next thing the positive. So we're running out of time here. I don't know if I can get all this stuff in. To stay positive, you need to focus on all the good in your life, the good things you've got going on. Like I've got this beautiful kitty that loves me, and I've got a house, and I've got a car, and I've got lots of friends on my CB app that I talk with every day. And you just keep reminding yourself of all those good things, and it is a great way to keep you positive. Also, going out is very good. You need to go out and just force yourself, even if you just go to a store and walk around, even if you just go and run errands or whatever, just getting out is also very important for the positivity. Talking Very important. You don't want to close off. You need to talk to your friends and, you know, people. And that's about all I got there. Oh, listening to good music is also extremely important. Uplifting music that makes you feel good, gives you goosebumps, positive feeling stuff. None of the real drama music. You want stuff that's going to make you feel good. And, you know, you know what I'm talking about. No love songs that are negative if you're brokenhearted. You know what I mean? Okay. I think that's about it. Signs from God. Sometimes you're like, am I getting a sign from God? Is this a sign from God? Or am I just wishing it's a sign from God? And you don't know. But you're like, is this a sign? Isn't it a sign? And you don't know. And sometimes you have to just take a leap of faith that it is and see what happens. Because sometimes the messages aren't clear. And God does that on purpose, I think. They say he works in mysterious ways. And I think it's to not make it so easy for us. Like when you go to a therapist, how they sometimes want to walk you to the answer instead of just telling you the answer. They want you to almost figure it out for yourself by them giving you certain prompts. They want you to hopefully come to the realization yourself. Because it's more powerful that way than when someone just tells you. And then if you come to it, it's more like you've realized it, where if they just tell you, you can be like, well, that's your opinion. But if you come to it, then it's like, it's opening, it's mind-blowing, you know, an epiphany type of thing, versus them just saying, well, I think it's this. That's like Rosie O'Donnell's therapist right now, who can't tell her that you're letting this affect you when all you have to do is go on a news blackout and you'll be fine. I'm sure she's got millions of dollars to live off of. She needs to get friends though, but she needs to just be on a media blackout, you know. A 72-hour psych hold would do her amazing, but a place with no news. Yeah, because they take your phone away, so she wouldn't be able to look things up, but they still have a TV where she could see news, so they'd have to have no news channels. And they'd be like, so you have no idea what's going on, Rosie. How do you feel today? Yeah, I feel pretty good. Yeah, because if you don't know, you can't be mad. Right, Rosie? If we gave you different news than the truth, we could really make you happy too. We could lie to you, and you wouldn't know if it was the truth or not, and it would make you feel good to hear those lies. We could do that for you, Rosie. I could fix Rosie. I could fix her. I could fix Rosie. It wouldn't be too hard. But she doesn't want to be fixed. So, but I had two ways to fix her. One is with the truth. One is without the truth, just telling her lies. I could tell her everything that she wants to hear and make her feel great. And as long as she doesn't listen to the news or talk to anybody about it, for all she knew, what I told her is the truth, and she would be awesome. Because I already know what I would be telling her. And I can't say it, though. Oh, I guess that's about it for today. As we wrap up, because I'm getting ready to go to Tron. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. I like going to the movie theater. I like going to the movies. I got goosebumps right now just thinking about it. It's going to be a good time. And we'll be talking about it tomorrow, for sure. Hopefully it's going to rock and roll. I know it will. There's no doubt in my mind. I love movies. I haven't been... The only movie I didn't like was Seven. It's a sad ending. I did not like that movie. Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt. Yeah, do not ever see Seven. If you haven't seen it, don't waste your time. Okay? It's an awful movie. Awful. All right, people. That's it for today. It's been a fantastic Catcast, and I will see you guys tomorrow. This is Cat Kennison, loving you guys for loving the cat. Oh, yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. Jabba. Jabba cha. Bye now.